we here are sponsored by the new presentation, this show and other similar shows, and we work directly with beings like Rebbe Zartars and Paul Twitchell and Phoebe Quantz, and I'm sure you're familiar with those beings. Did you get any kind of guidance from them writing this story at all, or did you communicate with them with this?
Yeah, a lot of the stories have been the experiences that I wrote. Some of them have been with Ribazata. Some of them I don't even know. I didn't know them until I actually see them on my dream state, because there's no book that have been written on them. So Wezu, for instance, is a being that I've never seen before until I started to work on this project. And he's the one that actually took me to some of those different locations on Mars that I actually have a multiple lifetime on Mars. So a lot of those beings that, sometimes we'll call them angels, sometimes we call them spiritual guides. Those are all the same people. Rebazatas, Phobiquans, all those. Some people will call them guardian angel because they show at them as their guardian angel to protect them. So it's the same line of masters that have been in this universe for eons and eons. And the Council of Nines are beyond that. They don't even show up to train people like Rebazatas, Phobiquans, Paul Twitchell, all those people will do.
Were you actually directed to or suggested to write this book by one of these beings, or was it your own initiative?
No, it was suggested to me that it was time for me to start writing down all the experiences that I was having, because it will be helpful for other readers that are out there that are having the same, question that I'm having. Even the publishing the book 2 before book 1 also suggested that it would be better for me to publish book 2 first, because it's very current to the situation that is going on in the world now.
Do you see anything higher than this Council of Nine you talk about?
Yeah. The Council of Nine is just one group in the hierarchy. What we normally call God on planet Earth is actually, I would say, our idea of God is archaic or does not exist really, because we always think about God sitting somewhere on the throne. No, God, like it says on the book, God in my native language, which is called Nzambe, is the prime creator. That's the name that is more ideal for that. Prime creator is that which was called God, which is beyond everything. And within the hierarchy, Nzambe, and then you have all the masters and the Council of Nine and the governors of each universe. So that's a whole hierarchy, that is coming from God, if we want to give it that poetic, and then descending all the way down to the angels and the guardians and things like that.
Do you see yourself as equal to the those beings, the Council of Nine you talk about?
No human being on this planet or in the physical arena can ever be equal to the Council of Nine. Of course, we have even the Council of Nine, they're still evolving, because within the universes of Nzambe or within the universes of Prime Creator, there's always room for evolvement. Even the highest spiritual masters on this planet or in the physical universe will always tell you they can never be equal to Prime Creator, because nobody will ever know Prime Creator. We are just a manifestation of that which is possible. So we can try to reach that goal, which is becoming one with God, but not really. It's not becoming one with God. We are becoming one with the voice of God, which is Nzambe.
You call the voice of God zombie?
Nzambe. Nzambe, that's in my language. Nzambe or Holy Spirit or whatever name you want to give it, that force, that creative force that is within the universe, which is, within everything. Even within the air that we breathe is part of that. That creative force, that's what we are trying to become, because it is what created all the universes. It's not God in a sense. It's the voice, that voice or that prime voice or language, prime words that created everything that we can think of. That's what we are trying to become.
Then why do you think the world is the way it is right now?
I do believe that everything that happened, like I said somewhere in the book, they told me that same question had been asked. So why is all this is happening? It says that nothing is ever lost, because what we do upon ourselves is for our own spiritual unfoldment. It's for our own gain. We might not know it, we might not understand it, but everything is run by program. This physical universe is only running on cause and effect. Everything that we do, there's a price for it, there's a gain for it. So God is not doing anything to us, or the Holy Spirit is not doing anything for us. We are doing everything, because this universe, physical universe, including planet Earth, is a classroom where we can learn, teach, do anything as we want, knowing that the price has to be paid. So it comes to a point where, after we try to destroy each other for so many lifetime and after lifetime after lifetime, we come to a point where we realize that only love can get us out of this arena. And we start to vibrate more love. We start to vibrate more understanding of each other. But primarily, this planet is run by a program. We might call it, if you do this, then what happens? If you do that, then what happens? That's the basic program that is running this physical universe.
And Komi, I'd like you to meet Claudia Stockman. She's from Texas. She's very well versed on the real side and have a lot of experiences and skills. And so, Claudia, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Wow, what a story.
Hi,
Fabulous
Claudia.
and right on. You're exactly correct. Have
Thank you.
experienced the same type of information coming through. We in the New Presentation Foundation call that which is outside of creation the all is. It is very, I could say, different than creation. Creation is more solid, more put here as a learning situation. This planet, we learn. And sometimes the best way to learn is through mistakes. But the good news is that there are those who have volunteered to come here and protect the planet and the people here as they go through their experiences. Everything that you are presenting is very the same that I have experienced with hybrids and am still experiencing with these creatures now. In particular, I work with the Orions and the Sirians, and they have different body forms or body types than we're used to. They have great abilities and capabilities to appear before a human and the human not be able to see them. They have tremendous power. They can move objects mentally. For the Sirians, that's their ability. They live in close communication with their planet. They speak to their planet speaks to them. Their sentient awareness. The Orions, on the other hand, are also very capable with their mental powers, but they chose to follow the path of technology. So they have great technological skills, and I'm going to say machines that they can control, and also do the same thing to humans, appear in front of them, and the human will not see them. Our eyesight is like the dog whistle, where you can blow a dog whistle and you won't hear it, but the dog will hear it. Same thing with our eyesight. A cat can see different frequencies of light than we can. And we can see a cat looking off into space or some other place and watching a scene, but we can't see any of it. So one of the things that the Syrians and the Orions do is try to, I guess you could say, control our lives completely. From my research, I have found that the Orions came here thousands and thousands of years ago and manipulated the genetic system of the animals that were here, so that humans are directly related to the monkeys, but they were changed or altered, their DNA changed so that they could operate machinery and work in the fields and do that sort of thing. And the Orions kept the human monkeys as pets sometimes, or as food. And today we see thousands of children and people disappearing off the planet. And nobody notices it. Nobody knows about it. They can't even find them. There's no evidence. Yet they are gone. And now that we are becoming aware in a way, do or die situation, we have to take time to center ourselves in this system of peace, I guess you could say, and calm before a storm. But be like in the center of a hurricane where it's all beautiful and calm and pretty, but outside of that center of the hurricane is very fierce winds, and some of them are very powerful and can destroy houses and cities and things like that. Same way with a tornado. You can be in the center of a tornado, but all around it, much destruction. It's a time for us to wake up and find out what's going on around us in our atmosphere, on the food, in the food we eat, the water we drink, the planet we walk on. So much has been deliberately destroyed so that we are suffering the effects of that. One of the ways that the new presentation offers as a counter to that and to help restore our planet is to sing the new you, like new you. And as we do that, we are opening ourselves up to the better atmosphere, the better water, the better food, the better planet that we live on. We have to save our own selves. There's not really a guru or a master or some kind of religious figure that's going to come and save us. We have to get up off our couches or out of our chairs and see what we need to do to save ourselves. But too many people have been hypnotized or mentally challenged to not remember anything that they see or not to believe it as being true and factual. We have to use our common sense to establish our presence here and to regain our own lives as we had it before. But it's going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of people remembering who they are. Thank you.
Very true. So very true. You know, you talk about the manipulation of a genetic code. That's one of the things that one of the masters talk about in the book, in my book. One of the kids that that went out there with me asked him that question. How come all this is going on like this? Is it by design? And he said, well, even your human body, the genetic code of the human body have been manipulated.
Yes, exactly. To the point that we are created and designed as a food source for Orions and other creatures from other planets and other places. And we don't believe it, but it's the fact. They hypnotize us and suggest that we will not remember any experience that we have that's out of the ordinary, and that we will proceed to do our job. We are just slaves here, like get up and go to work, come home, eat your food, go to sleep, get up, go to work, come home, eat your food, go to sleep. Same thing for the children. Get up, go to school, eat your food, come home, go to sleep. Do it again and again and again. And so much has been used, so many people have been used in various ways by the reptilians to accomplish their purpose. One of the things that the Orion reptilians' capability is to manipulate time. They can stop time, move it forward, backward, and we won't be aware of it. I've heard and experienced examples of people who are asleep at night and they think they had a dream where they were taken out and sent someplace and worked hard and then got up the next morning and, boy, that was a weird dream. But really what happened was the reptilian came in, stopped time, removed their body, used it for a few days, a few months, a few years, and returned that same body back to the exact moment it was taken. And they don't remember it. All they know is that they were having a weird dream. They wake up with their clothes on backwards or the sheets on the floor or that sort of thing. There's evidence that something happened, but it's not out of the ordinary. So we have a kind of a tough time to kind of look at things realistically and reasonably to see what's reasonable. It's sometimes too scary for us to face it, the possibility that we were abducted or used for another purpose, or that even that we are a food source like a cow to other races of beings, extraterrestrial beings. So it's just a matter of time before we get to the point where enough of us can tip the balance of power in our favor. But it requires us to have courage and the strength to do it. And the new presentation presents the information from Dwayne the Great Writer that this is accomplished through singing the new you for 15 minutes before you go to sleep or 15 minutes after you wake up, and ask the question, what happened last night? Why is this here? What's going on? And then be able to see the answer or perceive the answer. It's right in front of us. They answer us right away. And the guides, the real guides that work with us at night, try to help us, but they can't interfere in our free will. We can choose whatever we want. And the object of the game is to make a better choice. Thank you.
Thank you.